First play I'm looking at tonight is going to be PJ Washington for Charlotte. I'm looking at his points, props of 12.5 points. They're facing Orlando tonight, and I think the game is in Orlando. Let's look at him on Action Labs. Let's see what they got him at. They got him in a projection of 13.2, and you can see the books pretty decent favorite to go over 12.5, minus 120, minus 122, minus 125, and so forth. Let's look at him more over here on RotoWire, and I think RotoWire probably got this down a little bit better than the other sites that I've been looking at. They got him at a projection of 8.52 points. They got him projected to go under. Let's look at him over here on props.cash. This year, well, let's look at his last 10. He's only went over 12.5 points 4 out of 10 games. Let's look at his minutes. He's averaging 31.7 minutes in the last 10 games. In these last 3 games where he hasn't performed well point-wise, he's had 32, 34, and 27 minutes. And these last three games where his production has declined, he's had 7, 9, and 12 field goal attempts. This game on 11-7, this game on 11-5, he did exceed 12.5 points, and he had 11 field goal attempts and 18 field goal attempts. LaMelo's back tonight. I think his field goal attempts may be down. Let's look at him away. Away, he's only hit that mark 2 times this season, back on 10-19, 10-26. As you can see, since 10-28, almost 2 weeks, he hasn't went over 12.5 points. The defense they're facing tonight is decent. They're number 3 against point power forward position. 3 points allowed, they're not that great. He doesn't take many threes. Field goal percentage allowed, they're good. Middle of the road with points allowed. Let's see how many threes he take a game. He did take 7 one game, so I'll take that back. He's taking around 4 threes a game. And they are a little weak against 3 points allowed, one of the worst in the league. So that's probably why some people think he's going to go over the 12.5. I think with LaMelo back, he doesn't go over the 12.5. I'm going to go with PJ Washington under 12.5 points for tonight. The next play I'm looking at tonight is Jaylen Brown. We're looking at his points, rebounds, and assists, which the prop is 36.5. Let's look at this on props.cash. Or let's look at Action Labs first. They got him at 36.2. And you see he's, a decent favorite to go over minus 115. Some of the books got him at minus 124. Let's look at him on props.cash. He did miss the last game. So let's look at him last 10 games. He's hit that 60% of the time, over 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Let's look at him on 2 days. And this was in home, by the way. Let's look at all. He's hit it 50% of the time in the last 10 games. Let's look at 2 days rest. 40% of the time, 1 out of 2 games this season on 2 days rest. The defense they're playing tonight, OKC, there's going to be some points scored in this game. They're, stats-wise, they're not very good defensively. 23rd against the shooting guard defense. I like Jaylen Brown to go over the prop of 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists for the night. The third play I'm looking at is Steph Curry. We're looking at his 30.5 points. Let's look at him over here on Action Labs. For points. They got him at a projection of 32.8. Nothing really special stands out in the way the line is for this prop. Let's look at Mr. Curry. They are in home. Let's look at Curry over here on props.cash. Let's look at his points. $30.5. Let's go on the last 10 games. He's hit that 70% of the time against San Antonio Spurs. 27. I'm sorry, yeah, he hasn't hit that against the San Antonio Spurs. Let's look at Curry in home. This is the stat that I like. It's the home stat. He's went over 30 points in every game this season in home. In all 6 games, he's went over 30.5 points. They lost their last game against the Sacramento Kings. I think he scored 27 points in that game. Here's a stat that concerns me a little bit. This is a back-to-back. They played Sacramento in Sacramento last night, so now they're traveling to Golden State to play Golden State tonight. I know it's a short trip, but I do not like that he's only had over 30 points in 43% of the games that were back-to-back. Even though in his last 2 games, he has achieved that, and it looks like he had 1 game with 0-day rest in Detroit where he went over that number. Let's check and see. Was he injured that game? That's 10:30 coming off. Let me see. So on 10:29, he scored 31 points at Charlotte, and the next day, 10:30, he scored 32 points. This is a tough one for me because Sacramento's defense isn't that great, and I know that Curry's going to be real aggressive tonight because they lost last night. So, like I say, short trip, coming home. Probably had to deal with the kids last night a little bit. Who knows? But I'm gonna give Curry the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully, he stayed at the condo close to where they play at, and not went home last night. And I'm gonna go with Curry going over the prop of 30.5 points for tonight. So that's all I have for today. Go ahead and like, subscribe. Both of those things would be greatly appreciated. Into the next video. Peace.